Grenada and other CARICOM heads in the Bahamas to discuss CSME and regional food and nutrition security, among other matters. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report.
The Carriacou Carnival Committee presents Majestic Thursday. Majestic Thursday on February 16th at the Hillsborough Recreation Ground, 8 p.m. sharp. Come out in your numbers as 6 beauties will vie for the coveted crown. Marsha Blair, Miss Baltazar Grenada. Kiana Thomas, Miss Bogle. Kenesha Kojo, Miss BBH. Brianna Primus, Miss Six Roads. Michaela Gregg, Miss Pitty Martinique. And Renaya Alexander, Miss Lester. Admission $40. Showtime 8 p.m. Remember, it's Majestic Thursday, February 16th, 8 p.m. at the Hillsborough Recreation Ground.
With the details to the news for Wednesday, February 15th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Grenada's Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and his CARICOM counterparts will discuss major topical issues affecting the region, such as the CARICOM single market and economy, the CSME, food security, climate change, and climate finance at the 44th regular meeting of CARICOM heads in the Bahamas. The meeting has been held under the chairmanship of Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Davis. According to the CARICOM website, CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett says heads of government will place emphasis on the progress the community is making on the CSME, the region's flagship program. The heads of government are also expected to take action on an amendment to the revised Treaty of Chagaramas to cater for mergers and acquisitions in the community. The CARICOM website also states that given the importance the community attaches to agriculture, heads of government will discuss the progress being made to achieve regional food and nutrition security. Those discussions will be held against the backdrop of the CARICOM Ministerial Task Force on Food Production and Food Security, which signaled that collectively member states had achieved 57% of the target to reduce the region's high food import bill by 25% by 2025. The heads of government will have engagements with special guests, including the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, and the heads of international financial and trade organizations. Boat operators and owners are being urged to exercise caution when venturing out to sea to transport individuals from the mainland to the sister isle for carnival activities. Corporal Ken Joseph, attached to the Royal Grenada Police Force Coast Guard unit, says it is important that boat operators ensure that they implement their safety plan before making trips to carriacou. He said over the years, the unit has had to respond to several distress calls due to negligence. Corporal Joseph was speaking during an exclusive interview with the Government Information Service on Wednesday.
You have to make sure that persons do not overcrowd your vessel, right? Do not overcrowd your vessel, and make sure everybody has a seatbelt. So if your vessel is designed to carry 3 persons, let it carry 3 persons. Make sure everyone has their life jacket on, and make sure it's properly fitted. We do not want what happened in a few years ago, that tragic situation that happened of Liberia reoccurring, right? That was a very tragic situation where persons lost their lives. Right, and I believe it's possible that the persons who survived that could be suffering from trauma from this catastrophic event. So we do not want a repeat of that, right? So we asking the persons who are traveling to carriacou with their vessels, make sure you do not overcrowd your boat, make sure you have the life jackets, and make sure you let people know what you're doing and when you're leaving and stuff like that.
He also had some words of caution for swimmers and individuals who may end up in a situation and attempt to swim.
Swim alongside the beach. Do not swim under the influence of any alcohol. You plan to swim, do not drink. Alcohol impairs our judgment. So sometimes when people drink, they think they are Superman or the Incredible Hulk and they can do wonderful things. Please do not drink, right? Please do not drink please do not swim on a full stomach as well, because it can lead to cramps, right? We have to be smart when we're swimming. So all these kind of things that we need to bear in mind. Also, for those who cannot swim, stay on the surf and make sure you have a competent swimmer alongside you.
Carriacou Carnival activities kick off on Thursday, February 16th with Majestic Thursday. Soca artists will vie to dethrone reigning power soca monarch Mozo on Friday, February 17th. Groovy and Calypso final will be held on Sunday, followed by Juve, Fancy Mass and Monday Night Mass, and the event culminates with Shakespeare Mass on Tuesday, February 21st. All events will be held at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Continuing the news, new disaster risk management specialist Sylvan McIntyre says he is ready for the task ahead, which includes the implementation of a 5-year risk management plan for 2022 to 2027. The new role was handed over to McIntyre at NADMA's Monjalou headquarters on Tuesday by St. Lucia's sub-regional manager for the Eastern Caribbean for USAID, Anne Jean-Baptiste. The risk management plan must include the institutionalization of comprehensive disaster management, preparedness and response, and humanitarian assistance. Jean-Baptiste, who implements the Regional Disaster Assistance Program and the Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance, charged him with the responsibility to implement and roll out the plan in a timely and efficient manner.
McIntyre, being the new disaster risk management specialist for Grenada, will implement the RDAP within Grenada under those 3 pillars. He's in the process of now putting together his 5-year plan, and in conversation with the partners, the National Disaster Office, the Red Cross, and other partners, we'll come up with a plan that will roll out the RDAP for 2022-2027 with activities based on needs, based on gaps, based on the national disaster system and the areas that require support. So I'm very, very pleased that Mr. McIntyre, we see him as the best fit for the position, and I'm certain that he's going to provide the kind of support and expertise required here in Grenada.
McIntyre, who is no stranger to disaster management, says he is ready for the task.
I understand the ground, I understand the risks, I understand the assessment, the vulnerabilities for which Grenada is exposed. Functioning in this capacity has humbled me, and it is giving me a greater impetus, the new adrenaline, and a catalyst for spiraling into greater things for Grenada. When I serve in this capacity, I do not see myself as just Sylvan McIntyre with additional accolades or responsibility, but I see Grenada. I see myself as a servant serving with a passion for an institution that I am home with. I see myself serving a country that I have grown to love more and more, my homeland. And I also see a region for which I have contributed towards its development and would want to continue in that developmental process.
National Disaster Coordinator Dr. Terence Walters is confident that McIntyre would execute his duties and represent his country well.
The good thing here is that Mr. McIntyre is resident in Grenada, and so access to him, at all times, okay, is what we are happy about, and we are confident that Mr. McIntyre will represent the agency, very well, and that the working relationship, because of his expertise, experience, we are confident that we will be able to work together with him to advance, disaster risk management, disaster management here in Grenada, Carriacou, Partygrenada. So we are very thankful, we're very happy, and we extend our gratitude to USAID, BHA, for the handover of Mr. Sylvan McIntyre as the representative here in Grenada.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Mozo, where you there? The trouble is wrong, guy.
The Carriacou Carnival Comedy presents Fantastic Friday, February 17th, from 9 p.m. as 11 soca stars comes up against the defending monarch, Mozo.
Everybody wears no.
Fantastic Friday. Killer Bees, Silver Bullet, Shonda, Black Blingers, Flavor, DZ Popalende, vgh'n Mirage with Young 20 on standby. Tickets cost $40 or you pay more at the door. Hillsborough Recreation Ground is the venue for Fantastic Friday. Ticket outlets, Alexis Food Stores, Ali's Dream Supermarket, Malik Shopping Windward, and Terrence Logan, P.T. Martinic. Friday, February 17th. Fantastic Friday. Bacchanal City. Going rough.
Man, but she only taking money call.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives is looking forward to support from Suriname and Guyana to improve the breed stock of swine and increase the variety of pork products on island. Two farmers from Suriname, Pig Farmers Envy, a Suriname-based farm that exports pork to Guyana and Barbados, along with their Guyanese consultant, met with farmers, ministry officials and staff of the island's main slaughtering facility earlier this week. The team offered recommendations that can be implemented to improve production after they were given insights on the challenges and opportunities of the industry. Chief Vet and Livestock Officer Dr. Kimon Cummins gives an overview of the engagements with the consultants, farmers and various stakeholders.
Three officials that came down, two from Suriname, one from Ghana. The two Surinamese are Jerk and Alexander. They're both pig farmers. They've been in pig farming for over 45 years. And they've been exporting to Guyana and Barbados. Okay? The purpose of the visit here was really to assess our operations and from the assessment help us develop an overall plan to move our pig industry forward. The consultant who came in with them is going to now do more or less a document or report, and we are going to now move things from there, whether it means tapping into the expertise and all the connections that they have with respect to feed or trainings and procurement of some good genetic stock from them. But this is something that we're looking forward to as we move.
Finally in the news, 30 poetry books written by local author Marjorie Ross Strawn were donated to the Ministry of Education to form part of the local author's reading material available to students at the primary and secondary level. The name of the text is Pertaining to Grenada. Annette Moore has the details in this report.
In a handing over ceremony at the Ministry of Education on February 10th, 30 poetry books written by local author Marjorie Ross Strawn were donated to the Ministry of Education. The name of the text is Pertaining to Grenada. The donated copies of this book are meant to form part of the local author's reading material available to students at the primary and secondary level. The author's daughter and representative at the ceremony, Mahira Strawn Nelson, spoke of her mother's career and love for writing.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here. I feel humbled and honored at the same time to be able to present these tokens of love, I like to call them, on behalf of my dear mother.
The author, Ross Strawn, has spent more than 3 decades in the field of education.
She returned to her alma mater, Woburn Methodist, as a teacher in 1970 and taught for 39 years, with the last 12 years of her tenure serving as the school's principal. While at Woburn Methodist, she initiated the Word for Today radio and television program. Mrs. Strawn currently enjoys working along with organizations such as her local church and the Grenada Red Cross. Her interests include poetry, playwriting, and cooking.
Strawn Nelson says her mother has loved poetry and writing since she was a child.
She has instilled that love and passion to not only her family, but to hundreds, maybe thousands of students that she has come across over the years, and even people in church. She has impacted their lives through poetry.
Strawn Nelson also gave an overview of the book of poetry.
It is a must-have for not only every Grenadian, but visitors alike. It touches on various aspects of our island's life, culture, food, environment, and history.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Elvis Marine, expressed his thanks and appreciation for the timely donation.
I just want to, first of all, extend, on behalf of the ministry, our appreciation to, well, through Mrs. Nelson to Mrs. Strawn for her effort. It's always good when you have a practitioner who have impacted the lives of many people, maybe in a single space, now decided to impact the whole of Grenada and the region through poetry. And for this, we deserve to give, Mrs. Strawn a hand.
In support of the relevancy of the literary content, Marine also said he will encourage the ministry to purchase additional copies of the text.
The piece of work is significant. It appeals to our culture. Yet it appeals to everyday thing. And it makes it interesting. The ministry is extremely proud.
Marine thanked Ross Strawn for being an inspiration to other local authors and says promoting the use of select works by Grenadian authors within the curriculum will not only assist in the drive to improve literacy and numeracy, but also encourage young aspiring authors and illustrators. Chief Education Officer Angela Finley shared similar sentiments.
The best thank you will be when we can see students and teachers emulating what has been done by Miss Marjorie Ross Strawn, in that more of you become authors. This will really be the biggest thank you we can give to Ms. Strawn for presenting these books for use in our schools.
Several attendees read a number of poems from the book.
Bold and beautiful, red, gold, and green are the colors that can be proudly seen. The prettiest and the best in the Caribbean is the flag of Grenada, our Spice Island. Red signifies courage and vitality, and also the burning aspiration to be free. The gold speaks of friendliness, warmth, and wisdom, because in Grenada, you're always welcome. Green depicts agriculture and lush vegetation, and reminds us of the fertility of the land. The nutmeg signifies the chief crop of our country, while the red border represents harmony and unity.
Before dawn or after dusk, get on your feet, oh yes you must. Join the folks who are exercising. Get on your feet, let's go walking. Some have great fun walking in the evening, after the day's work and just before sleeping. Experts say it's the best early morning when the air is fresh, cool, and relaxing.
Break a dry coconut and grate it. Get snout and pigtail and scald it. Buy some young callaloo and cut it. Mix counter flour and knead it. Find different seasoning and blend it. Mix saffron with spices and leave it. Get out your iron pot and wash it. Now you are ready to make it.
Thank God it's Friday. So I thought that was quite fitting. A great lime for the seafood lover. It's Fish Friday in St. John's, Grenada. There you can eat almost any dish that is made with some of our local fish. Steamed fish, fried fish, barbecue too. You're welcome to choose anyone that suits you. Titiri, crayfish, lamby waters. Get some for you, your son, and your daughters. Side dishes are made to go along with it too, like roast bakes, fry bakes, and even cuckoo.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
Thank you, Annette. That story just ended the National Report for Wednesday, February 15th. Recapping the top story. Grenada and other CARICOM heads in the Bahamas to discuss CSME and regional food and nutrition security, among other matters. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.